from. Thank you for watching all our videos. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. We appreciate you. Honestly, we appreciate you. And if you're new here, we're happy you find us. Please do not forget to hit on that notification button. Do not forget to hit on that notification button so that you will not miss out on our.
So giving Lagata my platform to defend themselves with adequate evidences that he provided, that is when they tuned the music. So because you call Lagata a thief, me too, I should say Lagata is a thief because you call him a thief. Has he stolen from me? The answer is no. Do I care if you are stolen from anybody? I don't care. Is there any evidences that he stole from these people? The answer is no. But Lagata presented evidences of his conversation with Baba Mohbad. And all along that he was presenting his evidences, you people didn't counter the evidence. He didn't counter it. So I said, if the justice for Mohbad that we seek, if we finally get the justice for Mohbad, and the justice points at Lagata, if the findings point at Lagata that Lagata hands is in the death of Mohbad, then the law should nail him. Because they are saying Lagata is because they are saying Lagata is a friend to Dre. Lagata is a family to Wumi, or whatever they were saying. I said that is not my problem. I don't give a fuck about Dre. I don't give a fuck about whoever they call themselves. As long as when we get justice for Mohbad and it points at Lagata that Lagata aunt is in the death of Mohbad, the law should hold him responsible. So we can now engage in your own terms. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, basically, I wanted to even take you through all that has been happening since the beginning of Justice for Mohbad.
Okay.
And even how it all happened, how it got to Lagata, like situation where he had to come out. If you realize, if you remember, they mentioned my name at some point, like that somebody somewhere wants to pick one rare guy called Papariano.
Yeah.
They said that money lost in Papa Mohbad account.
Yes.
All of those things didn't happen. Like those things happened. There was time like I myself I dragged Lagata, and I dragged all of them together, including Gorex, all of them. Yeah. So yeah, Papariano for the first Yoruba man born and brought up in Lagos. One kind Omar Gurabi street boy, we just did one corner here. Just trying best in his own capacity. Yeah. So on the 13th of September, aside the other things that I do on TikTok, teaching, lecturer, and I engage in history, I do a lot of stuff. So Mohbad case became like that of George Floyd because I was an advocate in the case of George Floyd. I was one part of people seeking justice. If you know George Floyd, the Minnesota man that was murdered by the American police.
Yeah.
So I was in that platform, and I saw how these guys, all these Europeans, how they were so serious about getting justice, and also African Americans, like I got that thing, justice for Mohbad, it just drew me. It just drew me like, hey, it is a good thing to fight for people's rights, So I just got that feelings that, hey, what if this is you? So I was part of that George Floyd, and I likened it. It becomes a very good thing, to advocate and to see that people get justice. So and all that time I wasn't in Nigeria. I used to be in Europe, was studying at the time. So and I said, anytime, if anything happens that has to do with our country, Papariano, this particular energy, where this, people are doing their stuff, I'll bring in the same energy, like changes have to come out of all of those things. So, unfortunately, Mohbad case happened. So that very day, I think 11 a.m., 13th of, 13th September 2023, that very day. So I was doing my other stuff, like we're chilling, and everywhere on the internet, people were, there were a lot of people like sharing their life. You know how people share life, like you will be wondering what's happening. Sharing the same live stream. You will see some, 12th. Yeah, sorry, someone corrected me. 12th September, the day Mohbad was buried. It's not 13th, 12th. No, come, share Lori Mohbad. Let Monday, Tuesday was 12th. Where's this 13th now?
It was buried on the 13th.
On the 13th, Nemo stream. Somebody is writing 12 there. When I want to turn historian head, they're gonna come down now. So, on that 13th, it was just like, hey, what's happening? Like, I don't know Mohbad. I've heard some of his songs. Sheba just Somalian, and not that Mohbad was, for me, Mohbad wasn't famous and it wasn't like that a popular, artist, but I already have that zeal in me, right? That, it's good to fight for people. Whenever you see anybody being abused, just put in your own 2 cents there. Whatever you put in there, believe me, it will amount to it. If everybody put the same, it will be huge, So I said, this time around I must join this one. I was just telling myself, whatever way it will go, I don't even know where it's gonna go. I didn't even know where it was gonna go. So I just joined it that, hey, let's do this thing. So I was streaming, as others were streaming on ground, I was streaming, and I was trying to like ask what's happening, like, hey, if you know what's going on, hey, come more about it, whatever. That day, Jake, like seeing Mohbad in the casket, like broken legs and all of those things, like they will not be the reality, but what was obvious to us at the time was so tragic, and so we're showing our sympathy, empathizing with the situation. So we were on live throughout, I think 24 hours, where that life did not end because people were also watching. Everywhere we're talking about 50,000 views, 10,000 views, 5,000 views, some 70, 80, 100 around the world. Everybody was just on it, like and wherever there's one thing about social media. Anybody who is if you are a content creator, the first thing you want to be anywhere where like the audience are, right? Most content creators, the of us want to be anywhere the audience are. So and like there were a lot of audiences, and I was wondering like, what's going on here? People are showing attention, people are showing interest, in this case, that let us dig deep, since thank God that there are other cases where things just happen and people don't even show interest, and it comes up, but this one people were showing interest, like including myself, and I said no, that we have to fight, we have to follow up this case, and somebody have to keep people there, So that was how I started. That day we streamed the second day, and some platforms, they have streamed, and which have streamed. Yeah, but after that streaming, I realized that 1, 2, 3, 4, day 4 after that burial, people started reducing. Some came due to the fact that, like a content, everybody was there, so everybody got into it, If something is going viral, everybody will see it for sure.
Yes.
When something is viral, it's to reach everybody. So everybody will come into it, Then now, as the day passes, then now you begin to see people now who now have different interests, Then to me, I said, no, we must get to the end of this, to the root of this, right? Some people, all the persons who streamed that very day, they took the truth. Some of them, they started leaving the case because, like, it was no longer going the way they thought. They thought it would be going the same way it started at the beginning. So, to put it short, so day 1, day 2, I was still on it. Day 3, and at some point, like, it seems like there were not much people even streaming or talking about the case, but I said, no, this platform will get to the root of this. And a lot of information kept coming out there. Naramali Samilari, one man called Anonymous, said Baba Mohbad, collected 4 million from a Cubana chief priest. And we also hear at the time that Mohbad overheard Naramali and Davido saying something a lot of speculations were flying on the air. So people sometimes enjoy those things. They like to know how it happens or how it later how it's gonna be. So I continued to, you know, bring people together, keep them, and make it like a regular routine. That's why I always tell myself, like, this is the first platform when Mohbad case become a regular routine. And all this time, we don't have all these characters that, you know, that are just floating all the place right now. All this Bookie Jesse, if you know what they call Bookie Jesse, if you know what they call all this Rexy, all this Comfy, you don't see all this things here. Most times, I do call them children. Okay, I do call them children because sometimes the way they act, it just warrants me calling them that, because I will not see anybody with maturity who have understanding of life and then who will just, you know, subject themselves into some things that has no headway. You know, I don't live like that. I've seen life, you know, and I'm an independent person. So, you know, as time passes, we gathered everybody together. At the time, it's like a debate, you know, like what actually happened. What if it was this? Oh, like, you know, Mohbad said Naramali took his life, whatever. Like, we're into it. And some characters like Iyabo Ojo, you know, they were fueling, you know, oh, Naramali, Kawasalo, you know, all of those things. Like, hey, yeah, people, you know, people used to see her as an actress, you know, old glory, you know, it was too big for her. So all those people were cherishing it. So, and we too, you know, we followed it, you know, yeah, because we have to hear from whoever is going to hear from whatever that has happened. Somebody will go meet the police, they will come back, they will tell this what we know, and we just stream. I want is just to stream and keep it cool, like make it a community. And the case was, at the time, right, the case was even more hot on Instagram than TikTok.
Yes, it was Instagram. It was Instagram that it was Instagram that I was handling the case. It was Instagram.
Exactly.
So because I started using TikTok November 2023. And the reason why I came to TikTok November was because they took down my Instagram account. They were reporting my account because we were asking questions. We were asking questions. So they took down my Instagram account during that 2023. So I came to TikTok November 2023.
Yeah, good. So let me continue. So Instagram there was a lot of things going on there, right? While we were here, you know, we were just few, one or two that was streaming. That's why there's so many celebrities on Instagram. Sure. You know, who have reputations, who have names, and Iyabo Ojo then do use Instagram a lot. You know, there were a lot of them there. Instagram. The only person that we have here at the time, TikTok, is Very Dark Man, but Very Dark Man doesn't stream. I just remember, he doesn't host a show like this. He does do video. He does make video, you know, and the video do go viral, you know. So that's another big voice. But when it comes to streaming, I was the one that was consistent here, streaming for hours on the case. So I think according to what I heard, they said there was another platform called AJ, one guy who was streaming but later stopped after 1 or 2 months. Last stop, but you know, I've never spoken to him, nor do I know him, but I heard of him. So now fast forwarding to the time of DNA or so, when we started seeing some interesting faces, people like maybe there's a man they call African Television. He came, you know, they spoke about DNA. After came, you know, talk about DNA. Very Dark Man publicized it, like popularized it. Then we have another man, African TV came in. All of these people, it's like as a parent, you know, there's when you see something and you don't just see that it's supposed to be like that, you know, and then you want to address it, you want to make things be the way it's supposed to be, you know, in a nutshell. So a lot of people who come into this case, I believe that one, they were all touched. Everybody was touched in one way or the other. Nobody is that too desperate. But let's put money aside first. Okay? Money is not the key to everything. Right? People were touched in one way or the other. Just like me right now. Like, I used to have a platform already, you know, doing all that stuff, whatever. But first, you know, the interest, the shenanigans, the drama of the case, you know, is one thing that kept me. So now, these figures, they came, they gave strategies, they wanted DNA, whatever. And one good thing about this platform, we always humble everybody. We keep them like, okay, you know, let's do it this way. We try to rub minds together how to do the whole stuff. And so on the other side, we started having some people that were disagreeing with, you know, with who is suspect to us, because at the time we were still defining suspect, you know, like, okay, some people suspect Naramali, some suspected Samilari, some suspected Baba Mohbad, some suspected Wumi. You know, that time, if you were really in this case, it was just all over the place.
Yes.
Check the first 1 month, September to October. No, it was all over the place. But when Baba Mohbad started speaking, you know, the man started speaking, and like, like, they will start realizing that, come, these people on Instagram, it's like they're on a different world, right? Like, they will start realizing that, come, it's like Instagram is anti-Baba Mohbad social media or social space. You know, because a lot of them there was asking that a lot of hates was coming, you know, from Instagram. Mohbad quickly bury Mohbad. The only thing they insinuate, he quickly bury Mohbad. He quickly bury Mohbad. Like, you know, and we was wondering, we're asking what happened. At some point, we were even thinking that the man was in the house. But the moment Mohbad came out to speak, and he narrated the story, you know, how he was called by Mohbad around 4:30 p.m. on that Tuesday, on the 12th, and went to the boat, entered the ferry, got to Osaka, London, you know, with their mother, and then they called the mother that they should be going back. Then she overheard it. She now took the phone from the mother and said, we've come this far, and you guys are saying we should go back. What's happening? But according to him, he said he understood that story because in Yoruba language, like, there's a way they open up dates matter to people because of the situation, the condition that they may be into. When they eat pepper, so they have to ahead. So me, I understand why those kids were able to, whatever that happened, then I understood. Okay, so the man now said, okay, that he just, you know, found his way to Mohbad house. That he would now say, okay, I've heard you guys, but, you know, the one way or the other, the man got to Mohbad house. I'm telling you his own narrative because me, I don't know how to lie on people. There's nothing I will get. I will say exactly how it is, and then when I want to have an opinion, I will not say by my own opinion, okay, having considered what this person has said, this is what me I thought, this is what I think is different, but I will say whatever anybody said the way it is. Yeah. So this I swear it. So after saying all of those things, I think we now have mercy on him. You know, we now like wanted to also hear from the other side. From the other side, we called out the Wumi and others and called that, hey, Wumi should speak, whatever. And Iyabo Ojo, you know, she was good. She was doing her own thing, trying to prevent Wumi from speaking. We don't know what, you know, we don't know what Iyabo Ojo knew at the time that all of us do not know. So the public wanted Wumi to speak, and Wumi frustrated the public by not speaking, right? And the father was already speaking. So now we have to now change our direction to suspect Wumi. This is how suspecting Wumi. This is how Wumi became public suspect, and now she now turned to something that everybody felt like, this cannot happen now. Like, how will your husband die? You said you guys went to a show, you know, on Sunday, and he was not sick before the show, and you guys came back on Monday. We don't know of any activity Mohbad, you know, they did. We don't. Nobody called him. Nothing happened. We just yesterday Tuesday, nurse come, carry nurse treat and he died, just like that. And if it happened exactly that, like that, is this too big for you to say? Let's even say that's what happened. Is this too big for you to say? It's because that is not what happened. That is a scripted version. It's what they want to make people believe. Yes. And this is something they said, when you keep lies for a long time, it slowly becomes truth. Yes. So one thing they did, right, they tried to preserve that lies. And right now, it now become the narrative of the day. Nurse Kaka. We don't believe in a nurse. Yes. As a matter of fact, we believe Mohbad died on Monday. Right? And during that time, Mohbad mother, you know, spoke also. You know, from nowhere. Baba Mohbad was already out, doing very well. You know, anybody doesn't like Baba Mohbad, the old version of Baba Mohbad. Anybody doesn't like, I can't tell about, you know, what we've been seeing, because I've been in this case the longest on TikTok. Okay, so I've seen a lot of things, and I speak from this reality, and people started joining the case, you know, like Vengeance, Ishak, all these, you know, children recently. They just start abusing people, you know, when we tell them this, how these things are, and they don't even want to know anything. I don't know their interest. They will just be abusing people, okay, and I hope, you know, only God will judge them, or maybe Ogunlaka will judge, or because, or maybe Ailala will judge our, because, or maybe Ailala will judge our, because, or maybe Ailala will judge our man like voice. you there?
I am here.
Are you there?
I'm here. I'm hearing you.
Yes, I'm not wasting your time. No, I told you I'm also an historian, politician, lecturer, everything, scientist.
I used to be. I used to be.
You telling me?
No, I used to be on this TikTok for 17 hours. So you are not bothering me. I am listening.
Oh, all right. All right, good. So, believe me, the old version of Mohbad was so perfect that I was the first person who said Mohbad should be given a Father of the Year award. I am the first person to pronounce that word. Mohbad is the Father of the Year. There was a lot of intimidation, so many threats from the other side at the time, because the man was all alone at the time, and you could understand, like, not that he was with any strong family in Ikorodu that anybody would be scared of. So, as somebody who was